Your mindset is the foundation of every success or failure in your life. Just as a building cannot stand on a weak foundation, your life cannot stand tall on a fragile mental state. Every choice you make, every goal you set, and every problem you face is filtered through your mindset. If it is strong and clear, you will find solutions where others see dead ends. If it is weak, even small challenges will seem like impossible mountains. The results you get are simply a reflection of the mindset you carry. To build an unshakable mind, you must first decide what you truly stand for. Without a clear set of values and principles, life will push you in every direction, and you'll find yourself living according to other people's opinions. Decide today what you believe in, what you will fight for, and what you will never compromise on. This clarity will serve as your anchor when storms come. People with no anchor are always drifting. Those with a firm stand cannot be moved. Challenges are not roadblocks. They are the gym where mental strength is built. Just like your muscles grow through resistance, your character grows through adversity. Every obstacle is an opportunity to lift the weight of difficulty and build resilience. The person who avoids challenges avoids growth, but the one who embraces them learns skills, gains confidence, and becomes someone who can face greater battles in the future. Self-discipline is the guard that protects your focus from distractions. Without discipline, your goals are like unlocked doors. Anything can come in and steal your progress. Discipline forces you to do what's necessary, even when you don't feel like it. It helps you say no to comfort in favor of growth, no to laziness in favor of action, and no to short-term pleasures in favor of long-term rewards. The strength of your mindset is measured by how you act when everything goes wrong. Anyone can smile when life is smooth, but the real test comes when the plan collapses. Do you panic or do you adjust? Do you quit or do you persist? The answer to these questions reveals whether your mindset is built on sand or on rock. An unshakable mind remains calm, adapts to reality, and keeps moving forward no matter how strong the storm. To build an unshakable mind, you must first decide what you truly stand for. Without that decision, you'll live life reacting instead of leading. Every opinion will sway you, every setback will confuse you, and every shiny distraction will pull you off course. But when you have a clear sense of what you believe, what matters to you, and what you refuse to compromise on, life becomes simpler. Not easier, but simpler. You'll know which opportunities align with your mission and which ones are nothing but noise. When your values are defined, you stop being tossed around by circumstances. You can face criticism without losing your confidence, because your worth isn't tied to someone's approval. You can walk away from shortcuts because you know the cost of betraying your own standards. This kind of mental clarity is rare, and it's why some people can stand firm while others crumble under pressure. Your stand becomes your compass in moments of uncertainty. It points you in the right direction when the path ahead isn't clear. You won't always know exactly what to do, but you'll know what not to do because it would violate your principles. That's the power of having a defined identity. It protects you from making decisions that will cost you more than they give you. An unshakable mind is not built on motivation alone. It's built on conviction. Conviction is what keeps you going after the excitement fades, what pulls you through when the outcome is uncertain, and what gives you the courage to act when fear tells you to wait. In the end, deciding what you stand for is not just about building mental strength. It's about building a life you can be proud of. Because if you don't choose your stand, someone else will choose it for you, and you'll spend your life chasing goals that never really belong to you. Challenges are not roadblocks. They are the gym where mental strength is built. Just like lifting weights tears muscle fibers so they can grow stronger, difficulties stretch your capacity so you can handle more in the future. Every setback, every obstacle, every no you face is like another set in the workout room of life. If you only seek comfort, your mental muscles remain weak. But if you embrace resistance, you'll grow into someone who can face greater challenges with confidence. Think about it, no one becomes strong by avoiding effort. The person who never faces discomfort never learns persistence, patience, or resilience. On the other hand, those who push through tough seasons emerge wiser and sharper. They see problems not as personal attacks, but as invitations to rise higher. They know that hardship is the training ground for greatness. In fact, many people who inspire us the most didn't become strong because life was kind to them. They became strong because life tested them over and over again. They learned to see a challenge as a teacher rather than an enemy. And because they trained in the gym of adversity, they now lift weights that would crush the average person. The truth is, avoiding challenges doesn't keep you safe. It keeps you small. Every time you dodge a test, you miss the chance to grow. Every time you quit early, you rob yourself of the satisfaction that comes from finishing something hard. The growth you want, the confidence you seek, the courage you admire in others, it's all hidden inside the very challenges you try to avoid. So the next time life hands you a difficulty, don't run from it, step into it, treat it like your next workout. Because the more you train in the gym of adversity, the more unshakable your mindset becomes, and the more prepared you'll be for whatever comes next. Self-discipline is the guard that protects your focus from distractions. Without it, your goals are like a castle with no walls. Any impulse, temptation, or interruption can walk right in and take over. Discipline is the quiet strength that says no. When comfort whispers, just relax. It's the reason you keep working when you're tired, keep studying when you'd rather scroll, and keep moving when everything in you says stop. Without discipline, even the best plans collapse under the weight of inconsistency. When you practice self-discipline, you put your long-term vision ahead of short-term pleasure. It's not about punishing yourself. It's about protecting your future. The moment you commit to doing what's necessary instead of what's easy, you start building a habit of success. Every small, disciplined action compounds over time, turning into results that others call lucky. But it wasn't luck. It was the guard you posted over your focus. Discipline also acts as a filter. It helps you ignore the noise and focus on the work that truly matters. In a world where distractions fight for your attention every second, this skill is priceless. The disciplined person isn't necessarily the most talented, they're simply the most consistent. And consistency, over time, beats talent without discipline. There will be days when you don't feel motivated, and that's exactly why discipline matters. Motivation is like the weather, it changes often. Discipline is like the climate, it defines the environment you live in. If you rely on motivation alone, you'll quit as soon as you don't feel like it. But if you build discipline, you'll keep going because you've trained yourself to act regardless of mood. The truth is, self-discipline isn't a limitation, it's freedom. It frees you from the chaos of an unfocused life and gives you the power to create the future you want. With it, you can guard your focus, protect your time, and build something worth being proud of. Without it, you'll always be at the mercy of whatever distraction comes next. Surround yourself with people who challenge your excuses, not comfort them. The company you keep will either push you forward or hold you back. If you spend your time with people who accept your reasons for not trying, you'll never rise beyond your current level. They may mean well, but comfort is often the enemy of growth. True friends, mentors, and partners are the ones who refuse to let you settle for less than you're capable of. They won't sugarcoat the truth. They'll hand it to you straight because they care more about your growth than your feelings in the moment. When you're around people who challenge you, your standards rise. You begin to see what's possible instead of what's easy. They inspire you not through their words alone, but through their example. They live with discipline, they chase meaningful goals, and they refuse to waste time on excuses. Being in their presence forces you to look at your own habits and ask, am I doing my best? The opposite is also true. Spend enough time with people who make excuses, and you'll start making them too. You'll begin to lower your bar, justify your inaction, and explain away your lack of progress. Slowly, you'll stop aiming higher, not because you can't, but because you've surrounded yourself with people who don't. That's why you must choose your circle with intention. Look for those who see your potential, even when you don't see it yourself. Seek out the ones who will tell you when you're slacking, who will hold you accountable to the promises you've made, and who will celebrate your wins because they know how hard you worked for them. Remember, the right people won't let you stay where you are. They'll push you toward who you could be. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the uncomfortable truth they gave you was worth far more than the comfortable lie you could have lived with. Train your mind daily with positive input, just as you would train your body. You wouldn't expect to stay physically fit if you went to the gym once a month, and the same is true for your mindset. Your mind is constantly being shaped by what you feed it, through the conversations you have, the content you consume, and the thoughts you allow to take root. If you leave it unattended, negativity, doubt, and fear will creep in and take over. But if you deliberately fill it with truth, encouragement, and wisdom, it will become stronger, sharper, and more resilient over time. Just as an athlete follows a training plan, you need a mental training plan. That might mean reading books that challenge and inspire you, listening to voices that lift you higher, and surrounding yourself with ideas that feed your vision instead of your fears. The mind needs daily conditioning because the world will test it daily. Without this routine, the smallest challenge can feel like a knockout punch. With it, you can face even the toughest blows without losing your balance. The beauty of daily training is that the benefits compound. A few minutes of intentional learning each day doesn't seem like much in the moment, but over months and years, it changes who you are. You begin to think differently, respond differently, and see opportunities others overlook. You start to carry a strength and clarity that can't be faked because it's been built rep after rep, day after day. Positive input is not about pretending problems don't exist. It's about equipping yourself to face them with a clear head and steady heart. Just as muscles need resistance to grow, the mind needs the weight of truth to stand firm. And the more you feed it with positive, empowering ideas, the more prepared it will be to handle the pressures of life. So make it a habit. Guard your mind like the most valuable asset you own because it is. Invest in it daily, and over time, it will pay you back in confidence, focus, and the unshakable belief that you can handle whatever comes next. Learn to control your response because reaction is a choice, not a reflex. Life will always present moments that catch you off guard, harsh words, sudden changes, unexpected setbacks. In those moments, most people react instantly, driven by emotion rather than intention. But here's the truth: you are never forced to hand over your peace. Between what happens to you and what you do about it, there is a space. And in that space lies the power to choose your response. When you learn to pause before acting, you take control of that space. You give yourself time to think, to evaluate, and to respond in a way that serves your values instead of sabotaging them. This doesn't mean you suppress your emotions. It means you direct them. Anger, fear, and frustration can either be fuel for progress or poison for relationships. It all depends on how you choose to use them. The greatest leaders, negotiators, and problem solvers aren't the ones who never feel stress or frustration. They're the ones who master their response to it. They've trained themselves to step back, breathe, and make decisions from a place of clarity instead of chaos. This habit earns them trust, respect, and influence, things that impulsive reactions often destroy. The more you practice controlling your response, the more you realize you're not a victim of circumstance. You can't control every event in life, but you can always control how you handle it. And that single decision often determines whether a challenge becomes a stepping stone or a stumbling block. So the next time you feel pressure to react instantly, remember, reaction is easy, but control is powerful. Choose the pause. Choose the perspective. Because in the long run, your response will shape your destiny far more than the event that triggered it. Replace self-doubt with evidence of your past victories and progress. Doubt thrives when you forget what you've already overcome. It whispers that you're not ready, not capable, not enough, but it can only survive if you ignore your own history. Every time you've faced a challenge, learned a skill, or pushed through a tough season, you've built proof that you can do it again. That proof is your weapon against the voice of doubt. When fear tells you that you can't handle what's ahead, take a moment to remember what you've already handled. Think about the situations you thought would break you but didn't. Recall the times you started with little and still found a way. These memories are not just stories, they're living reminders that you've been tested before and passed. Self-doubt often paints the future with the colors of failure, but your past victories repaint it with the colors of possibility. Every achievement, big or small, is a brick in the wall of confidence you can lean on when uncertainty strikes. And the more you deliberately remind yourself of those wins, the harder it becomes for doubt to push through. This doesn't mean you'll never feel insecure again. It means you'll be ready for it. Insecurity might knock at your door, but you'll answer it with a list of every obstacle you've already beaten. And suddenly, what once felt impossible begins to look familiar. So don't let your mind be an empty room where doubt echoes loudly. Fill it with the voices of your past victories. Keep the evidence close, because the same strength that carried you through before still lives in you now, and it's ready to carry you through again. Keep your vision bigger than your problems, so problems stay in perspective. When your focus is small, even the tiniest obstacle can feel overwhelming. But when you fix your eyes on a goal that excites and inspires you, problems become speed bumps instead of roadblocks. A clear, compelling vision acts like a lens. It determines how large or small challenges appear in your mind. The bigger the vision, the smaller the setback looks by comparison. When people lose perspective, it's usually because they've allowed the problem to dominate their thoughts. They stare at it so long it fills their entire view, leaving no room for possibility. But if you pull back and look at the bigger picture, you realize that most problems are temporary. They're simply part of the process that leads to where you want to go. Your vision works like a magnet. It pulls you forward even when you're tired or discouraged. The stronger the pull, the less likely you are to stop for long. Problems may slow you down, but they can't hold you in place when your destination matters deeply enough. The dream gives you a reason to keep moving. Without it, you'll get stuck in the details of today's frustration. This is why it's so important to keep your goals visible literally. Write them down. Put them where you can see them every day. Remind yourself why you started, especially when the problems seem heavy. When your vision is always in front of you, you train your mind to measure every obstacle against it, and most will shrink instantly. So whenever a problem threatens to take over your thinking, zoom out. Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Is this worth giving up my dream for? The answer is almost always no. Keep your eyes on the horizon, and your problems will stay exactly where they belong, small in the shadow of your bigger vision. The strength of your mindset is measured by how you act when everything goes wrong. Anyone can seem confident and optimistic when the sun is shining and the path is clear. But true character shows when the storm hits. It's in those moments, when plans fall apart, when you're out of options, when nothing seems to go your way, that your mental foundation is revealed. Do you let the circumstances dictate your attitude, or do you choose your response in spite of them? When life throws its hardest punches, some people crumble while others rise. The difference isn't luck or talent, it's mental resilience. A strong mindset doesn't deny the pain or the challenge, but it refuses to surrender to them. It takes a breath, adjusts the plan, and keeps moving forward. This doesn't mean you won't feel frustrated or even discouraged. It means you won't let those feelings make the final decision for you. Think of it like a captain steering a ship in rough waters. The waves are real, the wind is strong, and the route may change. But the destination stays the same. A weak mindset lets the storm decide where the ship will end up. A strong mindset stays at the wheel, even if it means moving inch by inch toward the goal. The truth is, difficulty is not just a test, it's also a teacher. Every tough season teaches you endurance, adaptability, and patience. And each time you choose to act with courage and clarity instead of panic, you strengthen the mental muscles that will serve you in every future challenge. So when everything seems to be falling apart, don't waste your energy asking, why me? Instead, ask, how can I stand firm in this? Because in the end, people won't remember how smooth your journey was. They'll remember how you carried yourself when the storm was at its worst.